Who are your top 5 in the West? Suns, Warriors, Grizzlies, Jazz, Mavericks. Look at them. Wow. So anywho, 7 o'clock tonight here on WMMS is when you'll hear your Cleveland Cavaliers against the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll be there tonight. If you hear normal, then louder... If you hear louder than normal, if you hear normal than louder cheering, if you hear louder than normal cheering, that'll be us up there at
normal than louder.
Normal than louder cheering. That's right. Alan Cox Show After Hours line. You're always welcome to just leave us a quick message there if you don't want to wait on hold. It's 216-986-8903.
Hey, gang, it's Brooke, former Kosovo bureau chief, checking in again. Poundcake, I'm really sorry. My last 2 calls were down on you, but not this one.
He's not going to hear this, is he? Because he's talking to the winner.
Phone. Yeah, hold on a sec.
Okay.
I'll have to vamp for a little bit. This is
Mary was talking about
the job.
Yeah, Mary's in L.A. and was lamenting the fact that so many other things are shutting down. They're not going to be able, no matter what state you're in, they're not going to be able to stay ahead of this because they've tracked a new COVID variant in 40 countries, including the United States. So they're going to just have to figure out how to,
called?
Huh?
Do you got a name for it yet?
BA2, because it looks like Mr. T.
This Rover?
A subvariant of Omicron. It's been tracked in the UK. It's in 40 countries. Including the U.S., India, Germany, and Australia. They don't know where it came from. But they said people who've already gotten a breakthrough infection are probably going to be just fine. I think we've all had... Have you had COVID?
I've never tested positive.
Bill is the one holdout. We've all had COVID. Bill is the one holdout thus far.
I had it like that. There was that week that I was out sick, and I was taking COVID tests that whole week. Never got a positive test.
Were you taking PCR tests or at-home tests?
At-home tests, because I was...
Those are not real. Those are not... I refuse to believe those anymore because...
That's what I took.
My boyfriend had COVID. He was super sick for 3 days. All of his at-home tests came back negative, and then he went and got a PCR test, and it was positive. Like, symptomatic for days. Took the at-home test, negative, got the PCR test, and was positive.
Yeah, well...
All right, well, I never tested positive, so maybe I've had it, and I just never I never got a positive test. So,
listen, if you're getting normal then louder results, you're going to want to just kind of drill down on those. Omicron is acting like a super booster, this person said. People who have gotten it are going to be really well protected against whatever this new variant is.
Well, maybe
that's usually the way that it works.
I mean, I did get a booster.
Yeah. I paused Brooke's call because she was talking to Poundcake again. Brooke from, she used to be our bureau chief over in Kosovo, and she's back here now.
Hey, gang, it's Brooke, former Kosovo bureau chief, checking in again. Poundcake, I'm really sorry. My last 2 calls were down on you, but not this one, my friend. I also want to go to Chernobyl, and Bill, Mary, and Alan can suck it. I mean, I'm not going to go to Ukraine just for Chernobyl, but if you're already there... why not take a bus? It's like a little day trip. You go and you see the devastation. You see how the earth is taken over. I think it would be really cool. Totally on your side, Poundcake. You know, we just got to calm down the situation with, like, Russian troops and stuff first. Second of all, what happened to Poundcake? You were going to write a press release for Bill's High and Dry shows. I think we need to get back on that. You need to do it. I thought it was going to be, we were going to hear it Monday, but we didn't. All right, love you guys. Bye.
We never said Monday.
I said Friday last week. And
it was Friday, and I thought it was
for my Lorraine show.
I completely forgot about it altogether. So he never did it.
Yeah.
No, I thought he said this coming Friday, and I could still write one for this Friday. I don't have
a show this Friday. Well, I do have.
Didn't we talk about this like 2 weeks ago?
No, we talked about it right before Mary went. Because she said, I'll be in L.A.
Last Wednesday we started talking
This is when Mary vociferously resisted you being her PR coordinator. That's right.
Now imagine if you had Poundcake writing press releases for you to, and then you walk into that green room at the Comedy Store, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's Mary Stan Mora.
Right. M-A-R-I-E.
Yeah. Look at her Warbury.
Oh.
She's got a net worth of 2 sets of curtains.
Blah, 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 blah.
Right. Well, listen, I think it's nice that Bill's jumping on that grenade and letting Poundcake write his PR.
There's no harm in it because he doesn't have to use it if he doesn't like it.
I have
That
a
is true.
headlining show at Dina's coming up in a couple weeks, so I'll have you write one for that.
Okay.
Once the tickets are live, I'll send the information over to you. You can write a press release, and we'll go from there.
So the only guidance you'll give him are like the bullet points.
Yeah.
The meat, just the solid information.
Just
Everything
yeah,
else
is
is
him.
open for him to apply his floored prose to it. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. But listen, Brooke knows when she speaks. You know, she was in Kosovo for a long time. That's a good, probably day-long drive to Chernobyl. You could get over there.
I mean,
Ukraine, yeah, it seems to be a little iffy right now.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, God.
you know,
I was talking.
kick it in
what's going
Hungary.
on there?
In the Ukraine?
Yeah.
See me after the show. We have
Talking to my friend in the
We'll
military.
talk about it at the Cavs game.
Yes, at the Cavs game.
You'll-
Can you believe what's going
Yeah.
on in Kiev? I can't even get that chicken dish anymore.
My friend thinks everyone's going to get drafted. Like, you guys think I'm...
Every time something happens, they think
He's like,
people are going to get
You don't want
drafted.
to go to Russia. They have a treaty with China. And I'm like, so it's going to be World War III, just like they said like a couple weeks
How old's your friend?
Older than me. He's
Yeah,
like,
they're not drafting 35-year-olds, even if there was a draft.
well,
That's why they're offering like
he said he's
$50,000 bonuses to enlist because there's no draft.
I'm excited about this TikTok draft that they're going to do of 25-year-olds.
The TikTok draft.
They're all doing these. They used to march in order. Now they're doing TikTok dances and like together.
What is this cool dance he's doing? Oh, that's him trying to avoid gunfire.
His hashtag
Yeah.
drafted dance.
Uh-huh. Right. I've got, well, let me give you this money here. Let's do that. It's $1,000, about 30 past every hour. Most of the day, not every single hour, but you get like 12.5 chances a day. Every hour on this show, at least. You get a crack at this money. So good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword BILLS at WMMS.com. That's BILLS. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
I've got This Week in Jesus for you.
This Week in Jesus.
You weren't babysitting Tiffany Haddish's dog last night, were you?
I was not.
I'm going to do this by process of elimination. I'm going to name every male and female comedian
That have dogs.
that
Ever.
have dogs ever. Was it Louis Anderson's dog?
Oh, no.
Was it Brett Chrysler?
Oh, Brett Chrysler. You know what? He is very funny. And he's a big fan of yours, too, for one very specific reason,
And
right?
obviously, I'm a big fan of his. That's
Yeah.
why I know his name so well.
Bill Squire's amazing.
One of the funniest guys ever.
He's not woke at all.
Yeah.
That's why I don't buy M&Ms.
You can't even be awoken. There's a movie coming called The After Party. I think it's on, I don't know if it's in theaters. I think it's on HBO or something. It's the aforementioned Sam Richardson. And Tiffany Haddish is in it. And so she's doing press for The After Party. And so she did Fallon last night. And they were talking about her DUI. Tiffany Haddish is having a time. She's like walking this line between being mega famous and trying to keep it together. I don't know what's going on. They arrested her a couple of weeks ago, I think, down in Atlanta. And she got a DUI. And she was talking about it to Jimmy Fallon last night.
I know you had a very public breakup, and then I just saw you're in the news last week.
Well, I've been praying to God to send me a new man, a good man. And God went ahead and sent me 4 in a uniform. I wasn't expecting it. I was not expecting that at all. And now I got a really great lawyer, and we're gonna work it out. And I got to get my asking of things to God a little better.
Yeah, we're gonna be a little clearer.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Jimmy Fallon, who knew that he was so enamored of DUI humor?
Right. Really got over on that.
He really did.
He's
Yeah,
a tough
I was-
nut to crack. So if you
Yeah,
can
he
get
doesn't laugh a lot.
if you can get him rolling, then you know you're doing pretty good.
There's a reason they call him Jimmy Deadpan Fallon, because, boy, this guy will not break. Go back to his time at SNL. He was like Easter Island, this guy. He was stone. So I got pulled over and I got a DUI. He's like, ah! Of course, Jimmy Fallon, he's laughing like Poundcake. He's Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon's a big drinker,
no, Poundcake
too.
would only be laughing if somebody got hurt.
Right.
No accident? Oh, that's boring.
That's right. Actress comedian Tiffany Haddish involved in a drunken disorderly in suburban Atlanta, and unfortunately 5 people were killed in Tiffany Haddish, known primarily for not killing people,
Till now.
killed 5 people over Excuse me, sir. There are 5 souls that have gone to heaven. If you believe in. So, anywho, yeah, Jimmy Fallon, boy, he thought that was funny. Listen, he's the guy who got so drunk that he gloved his ring finger. Remember that? They tried to pass it off like he tripped, but Jimmy Fallon is very famously. He might have cleaned it up a little bit. I think his wife might have said, "Hey, get it together." But he was always seen. Drunk, living it up, boy. The pressures of the job were getting to him.
Did you see Michael Che and Colin Jost? They started a TikTok together after the show on Saturday, and they were hammered. And it's just them, Che, like, busting Jost's balls, but they are so drunk, and it's all on their TikTok.
Jimmy Fallon would laugh uncontrollably at the Zapruder film, somebody said. See, Jimmy Fallon's just there to have fun. I like Jimmy Fallon. I really do. He's there to have fun. And so these people are his friends. And he's like, but when you're talking about, like, I got pulled over, I was drinking. And also, I'm going to tell you this story here, but there's a bigger picture for me. Another one of these, over the past 10 years or so, you see the rise of the hipster megachurch, right? Because they were like, hey, church sucks. Everybody knows it. How are we going to get the kids in? How are we going to indoctrinate a new fleet of dummies? So they go, get a guy up there in like torn jeans and like a rock and roll guy and a T-shirt. I'm not like all those other pastors, right?
I'm Calvin Gemstone.
So, but one by one, these guys, they can't walk that line. So the reason they're trying to be cool is because they find out they're trying to get laid. And they're in on the grift, So they're like, why not combine these two things? Why am I going to be up here, dressed like the Oak Ridge Boys in 1979 when I can be up here, doing other stuff? So another one of these hipster pastors at one of these mega churches gets popped banging one of his parishioners.
Sorry.
I mean, you can't laugh.
It's funny. Yeah,
but it was just like, because Justin Bieber's pastor did the same thing. And
That's
he's
all
super
these.
hot.
Yeah, all these cool pastors that find out that they're like, nailing their. Anyway, this is a guy.
Wasn't that comedian John Crist, right? He was doing it. Yeah, there's lots.
He's not a pastor, though.
Yeah, but he's like a Christian comedian touring on that.
Yeah.
And then like just in every lady's DMs.
Sure. This guy's a guy named, and again, I don't even know. Listen, I grew up Catholic, so there's stuff you got to do to be a priest. But these other churches, do you just call yourself pastor? It's like reverend in the Baptist church. Like, do you fill out a form and you're a reverend?
No, there's no. I don't think there's any formality.
There's not an agency.
Right, you don't have to register with anybody.
No, but is that true? Like, anyone can call themselves pastor?
Yeah, that's how cults start. You just get people who believe the same thing or like hearing you talk, and now you're Pastor Alan.
We could all get registered as reverends right now.
But that's what I'm
internet.
saying. Do
Yeah.
you have to register with, like, the state or...
I don't think so.
I think if you're doing weddings and stuff, you have to register to a certain degree.
Yeah, but you don't
you
have
have to register like your church because you have to register it as like that as a church so that it's tax exempt, and then you say this is it.
If you do it on the up and up, I've been to church services in like old buildings with just a guy who was like, "Hey, I'm the pastor today," and we talked about the Bible, and people gave him money, and then it was at a different place the next week.
Well, and that's what a lot of these hipster guys are doing. This guy here is a guy named Tavner Smith. He's 41.
Is he up with the
Tavner Smith. He's the pastor of a place called Venue, which is a megachurch in Tennessee. And basically what these people do is they move into an old Sears and Roebuck and make it their church, like the Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
Right? They're like an old J.C. Penney, and they go, this is a church now. So you get this huge place, and then they have people come out, plenty of parking. So like all these old malls are getting converted to like cool churches. And this is a mega church in Tennessee.
This dude's got a mega church, and he's only got 11,000 followers on Instagram. I'm starting a cult. I'm tired of this.
This guy announced he's taking time off to spend time with God, which we thought was your job already. Anyway, volunteers who came to his house caught him and a female church employee who is married to another church employee half naked at his house. Now, none of this is shocking. My point is, they claimed that the reason that they were in a state of undress is they'd been cooking chili and it had splashed all over their clothes. Could we stop making chili the excuse for everyone's bad behavior?
Chili's the scapegoat.
First, it was Alex Jones, who famously could not remember his children's birthdays or names because he said he had a big bowl of chili for lunch. That was his lawyer's defense in a deposition. He forgot basic facts about his children. He didn't know what grades they were in or how old they were. He's since remarried, but he had a very acrimonious divorce with his first wife, and they had kids, and she, wanted to keep him away from the kids. And so when they were going through that custody thing, part of his deposition that made the news because it was so ridiculous, but that's what this guy traffics in, is I can't remember because I just ate a huge bowl of chili for lunch. And now here's this mega church guy who's at his house when some people came up to like drop something off for something. People had showed up and he said, he was down to his boxers. The woman had a towel around her. He said they were making chili and they splashed it all over each other.
Was there any chili? Was there evidence of chili? Like onions and tomato paste? Like, was there any chili ingredients around?
I don't know about that. But the people that they talked to, the people who showed up said, I don't think none of us was that dumb. If she dropped chili on her clothes, why are you in your boxers? Was y'all like throwing chili at each other?
All I know that from now on, date night is chili night. Mm-hmm. I have a girl over at my house. We're making chili.
Yeah, because it's going to splash, and you're going to have to get her into a towel.
I gotta get you out of them chili clothes into a nice dry towel.
Something a little warmer.
I could see you taking like full cans of beans and just sloshing them into the pan. She's like, "Why do you do it that way? It's for the flavor. It's a different flavor."
Yeah, it's like when you slap the basil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like mint when you're making like a mint julep. You give it a little slap, it activates the flavors.
You got to muddle it.
The oils.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Got to release the oils.
Slap, slap, slapping sounds.
So move over, Salt Bay. This is Chili Bay. The rumors of these two had been kind of swirling, so the people that showed up at his house weren't exactly surprised, but they were like, we're not sure how dumb this guy thinks we are. Answer should be, he thinks you're really dumb. He started the church in a former Sam's Club warehouse, and a lot of parishioners credited this guy with turning their life around. But they said that he did start spending more time with coworkers and got a tattoo and a piercing. Because you got to be like a hip pastor. Mm-hmm. But, once you start playing the role, you're looking around going, Jesus, there's all this tail around here.
Tavener.
How'd you like to get down with a Tavener? Of course, they both denied having the affair. But
Just like Jesus would have wanted.
Just like Jesus would have wanted.
Jesus
always deny the affair.
I don't know how Jesus feels about piercings.
God is your temple.
Well, the soldiers pierced his side, Bill.
They pierced his side. I feel like
he was the original piercer.
Again, his hands were pretty pierced.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of holes in the body.
But again, it took me a long way to get there. But the bottom line is, stop using chili. A more fantastic dish you'd be hard pressed to find.
I also don't like when
anytime my wife makes chili, that's all I'm eating all that week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If I ate 3 meals a day, it would be breakfast, lunch, and dinner chili.
Do you put anything with it? Do you sour cream or
I don't
crackers?
Put sour cream in it. I will crumble up some Fritos. I'll put cilantro in it and sriracha.
That's it?
But her chili doesn't need to be messed with. So that's just on me. She does the sour cream and the cheese and all that. I don't do that. It makes it too goopy.
Maybe not with the sour cream, but I like raw diced onions, jalapenos, and cheese on top of chili.
That should already be in the chili, though.
But she wants the raw because then it's crunchy.
Yes, it gives you the crunch, and
that's
then
what the Fritos are for.
A little extra spice with the sliced jalapeno on top.
That's what the Fritos are for.
For extra spice.
Crunch.
Oh. I was like,
listen,
maybe that crunchy Fritos,
that's the beauty of chili. You can do it however you want, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Chili's good.
Chili is delicious, depending on who's making it. Some people try to make chili and they give you some ham water. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
All right, easy. Ham water's not that bad.
Yeah, but do you
Mary's told us how much she loves chili.
With
3-way, 4-way, 5-way. There's a ton of different ways you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
What, Bill?
I was going to say, did you have... Don't worry about it. It was dumb.
Okay.
When has that ever stopped us?
Yeah, good point. Now I can't even remember.
Must I remind you of Batman farts?
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was...
Work of art.
Yeah.
Work of fart.
Okay. That pastor started turning his followers around, someone says. Well done.
Yeah.
Good job. You win. 35192 if you want to send any similarly amazing texts. And you can listen wherever you are on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan